Welcome to NBA 2K23 Online in a nutshell. NBA 2K24 is about to come out, and everybody's bashing it because it has a season pass, and it's rightfully so to be bashed. But people initially loved, quote unquote, loved as much as could be loved of a 2K game, which is the worst franchise in gaming. 2K23 initially because it had the Michael Jordan moments and it had a better offline mode in terms of association where you could go to the different eras and start there and have it be realistic through different time periods like 1984 with Michael Jordan's draft through 1996 with Kobe and such and go through the various timelines there. But online play is worse than ever. And I have a whole heck of a heap of footage to show if y'all want, because 2K23 was free with PlayStation Plus a few months back, with the basic PlayStation Plus, whatever the one before they were tiers is called now. I still think PlayStation Plus is a scam, especially the higher tier one. But everything seems to be tiers of scams now, so yeah, let's get into it. If y'all want to see more, I have a whole heck of a heap because it was free. And this is all no money spent. I put no money into the game whatsoever. And yeah, this is just online in a nutshell. For reference of this game, this is the My Team limited mode to where theoretically the teams should be more equally matched. This particular mode, you can use one player of each gem or tier or however you want to call it. The best is 99 overall dark matter. The worst is 79 and under gold, and then there are tiers in the middle of it, and essentially the high rating is what you want, but when it's tiered, it should be fair. So yeah, let's see if it's fair, folks. I am in the light colored jerseys, the opponent is in the dark colored jerseys, so let's get this one going, folks. This was the first day of me even attempting limited as the game is now, aka literal in the game, and because it is literal in game, people ain't exactly taking it seriously. More often than not, in any online mode now, whether it's my team or what I've seen of myplayer, even though that's not a mode that I play because I just don't want to sit through the cutscenes. I know some of them are skippable, but still, I just really do not care about a story, so I'm either going to play the Play Now Online, which is team versus team or individual player versus individual player, or my team, which doesn't have a story, so yeah. But anyway, yeah, any mode that I've noticed, a lot of people don't particularly pay the most attention to when the game starts, because on average, with Limited, this is the first day of me playing it, I played it on a Friday night. It was maybe about 11 p.m. Eastern when I played, so in some areas it could be literal prime time. And this game took about 5 minutes to happen. So of course some people ain't going to be paying attention. Because this is about the quickest the game would ever happen, because it's Friday night, pretty much prime time, and it took about 5 minutes. So yeah, not hard to say how good the competitor is on paper, but in reality, you can see that right there, folks. That is from my career, or myplayer. I think it's called different things for different individual modes within it or something. But yeah, that can only be gotten in the park for the myplayer or whatever mode. And that means this particular player has a whole heck of a heap of online experience. To get the logos at the bottom of your player in a completely different mode, yeah, that's a whole heck of a heap of experience. And have you noticed this, folks? Yes, that's a fireball, which can only be gotten in the My Team mode. In the My Team mode, you have to win 100 games of online play with the Dark Matters, the best cards in the game. You have to have at least 3 Dark Matters on the team and win 100 online games. I've played maybe 5 total online games throughout all the different modes throughout this year, and I just started playing now because next game's about to come out, so I may as well get time in before the next game's out and absolutely no one at all is playing. So yeah, I played about 5 games total. who I'm playing against is really good in my career, really good in my team, won at least 100 games, and I'm not very good at the game in general. I don't have much experience, and yeah, I'm not feeling too confident about this one, folks. Granted, I drew first blood, but I mean, it's not the Danish situation when they're already kicking to the corner and shooting immediately. Sadly, with this mode, you kind of just have to pick who you defend. If you try to defend on ball, the servers aren't really good enough to allow for the movements, like where the ball is, meaning on ball. So usually players can just run past each other. If you try for off ball, it's better to try and be in the paint because there can be back cuts, aka the offensive player runs around the defender in the back of them, and it's an automatic score in the paint almost every time, so you have to pretty much off ball in the paint or else they can do that every time. So when this player already knows to kick in the corner, aka as far away from the paint as possible, and shoot immediately, I'm a little bit worried. Fireball means a whole heck of a heap experience, over 100 online wins. I have 5 online games, and pretty pick it close to hitting it, honestly. Y'all can judge the form and timing and such. But no meter is also a bad thing. I use the meter for shooting in online because the servers are so bad that I kind of needed to look at it. And even then, there are lag spikes and such like that, that even with the meter, there's really only about a 50% of even getting a chance to time it with my 25 megabyte internet, take that as you may. I was almost perfectly timed in the very first shot of the game with, again, players that aren't the best of the best, because you can only have one of the best of the best, but I do. I have Taco Fall, who is quite literally the best of the best card in the entire game. How I got this card? Well, from nobody playing the game anymore. NBA 2K is hated, and people said from the beginning that this game was supposed to be loved. But within about the first week, people figured out the online was worse than it's ever been. The servers don't really allow you to shoot, and the cards in which to get them is worst odds than it's ever been. 2K is being greedier than ever, and the servers are worse than ever for online play. Thus, nobody ever tries, relative to the previous games, to try to pull the new and best cards. AKA, that means that with very few cards on the auction house and very few people playing, it's pretty easy to just bid on cards and get them at a cheaper price than what they quick sell for. Not the best of the best card in the entire game like Taco Fall, but probably between about the 2,000 or so individual player cards are in the game. I would say at least half of them, at least 1,000 of you can just place a bid of the price in which they quick sell for, so automatic myteam currency there, and more times than not, you get it, if anything, even a profit. So I've just been doing that for a few months, and I've been able to get quite literally the best team in the game for all of the modes within my team. For unlimited, which is whatever cards you want to play, the best of the best, really. Limited, this particular mode, triple threat, which is your best 3 cards, or whatever it may be, even playing the AI type modes like domination and skill challenges and things like that. But like I said, even with meter, there's really about a 50% chance of actually getting to time the shot. The servers are so bad that, I mean, look at my form. Y'all can judge it as you may. From what I could tell, looking at the player, pretty much released it at the top of the shot. I'm not going to say it's not right perfect, because again, I've only played 5 games online. But from what I could tell, that was pretty much the top of the release if I were to be looking at the player. But no, the meter was so far behind, it wasn't even remotely close. So there's no point in even shooting a jump shot in online because the servers are too laggy with 25 megabyte internet, which, while it's nothing special, it's not exactly bad either. But Taco Fall is 7'6" with 99 everything. Yes, folks, this card is perfect in every stat and badge and is 7 feet 6 inches tall. Can play power forward when usually the center is the tallest position, and yeah. Y'all can probably guess what that means. Easy bucket there. Look at the score. Still pretty good game for now, but I'm not looking too bad. Remember, I'm the team on top of the scoreboard. But then the park player is park and uses an escape, which is a park thing that I can't particularly do. I can do like crossovers and like side to side and stuff, but I mean that's like a literal escape dribble with a screen that is iffy on if it would actually be caught an illegal screen or not. I swear about a quarter of the time anybody tries to do a screen, it's an illegal screen, whether it is or not. But yeah, escape dribble with Kobe Bryant plus screen that isn't called illegal. And dunking with a meter. That's a new thing of this game too, is that you can actually dunk with the meter just like you can shoot with the meter. You can dunk with the meter. I don't use that because it's a completely new thing, and you don't have to dunk with meter if you don't want to. If you're open enough, it's a dunk. I wasn't open there, so I passed it out. But at this point, the player that I'm playing uses a meter for dunking, which is extremely rare. You have to at least think you're pretty caught picking good to use that. Has the My Career, I think there are a few, but one of the My Career logos of my team and the fireball, which means it's already won over 100 games with the best cards in the game. And I'm not looking too bad against someone who should theoretically be way better than me. Way better. And there again, with the fancy dribbling, with 99 everything Kevin Garnett, I have Taco Fall on him. Taco is about 7 inches taller. Jumps when he jumps. And it's still considered an open shot. This player just mistimes it because, generally speaking, this mode doesn't have good enough internet to shoot a jump shot. This registers as an open, with a player 7 inches taller than the other player jumping when the offensive player jumps, and it's open. If this mode had a good enough connection to shoot consistently, that would go in every time. Because quite literally, if it is a green release, excellent release, whatever, it goes in every time. So, yeah. The best of the best players in this mode understand the lag and like when it happens and stuff so they can shoot through the lag. But there's such a skill gap in this mode. There's probably only 5% or so people that play this mode that understand how to shoot through the lag. And that's even on an open shot. If it does register as a contest, it's that much harder, but no, this one was open. So yeah, there's so much of a skill gap that only the top 5 or so percent of the people in this mode can shoot at all with a jump shot because the servers are so bad. This player's won over 100 online games. Really good in My Career, where you can actually make your jump shot. A lot of people make the My Career jump shots the same as the best shot. In my team, which is Kevin Porter Jr. on Very Quick, if I remember correctly. So a lot of the ones in Park, the My Career, My Player, whatever, Park are the exact same in this mode. Still can't shoot though. So yeah, as y'all can tell, you may be figuring it out. I'm playing inside out with someone who's 7'6" at the power forward. The other player's trying to shoot, which yes, could be done in My Player, My Career, whatever, in the actual offline playing the AI, but online, not so much. Granted, in general, modes do work better when it's 3-on-3, just less total players on the court, less fans on the sidelines. As you can see, this is an arena. When it's 3-on-3, it's generally either fans just standing and not actually in bleachers, so not all that many rows, or it's in the park itself and it's just whoever online happens to be on the sidelines of that particular court watching. So it loads better and it generally works better in park when it is 3-on-3, but it's still not the dandiest shooting. 5-on-5 though, there's no timing whatsoever. I wouldn't doubt it if this player is an absolute demon in park and hits the bulk of the shots because it's easier to time, not easiest. It's still way harder than it should be. But easier to time. And as the player gets more practice, it's getting closer. Before it was way off. That one was almost a make. But it is also pretty much green or miss. But the player's figuring out now. Don't shoot jump shots. Even though he's getting closer, still drive to the basket and I'm using Jurzunas Ilgauskas, the guy on the right. The foul is on the AI on the left. I don't foul, the AI does foul. This game's AI isn't smart enough to realize if the actual human being is coming over for the AI not to come over. So, the AI, not Taco Fall, who was initially on him. Another AI comes out of downright nowhere and fouls. Taco Fall chasing behind with 99 everything and like an 8'2" wingspan. So theoretical block and 7'3" Zazunas or Gauska is coming over as the actual human being to help, and because you can't shoot, leave the 3-point shooter open. Just can't shoot in this mode, so whatever. I play pretty much perfect defense, and the AI failed. So it's completely and utterly random on whether the AI fouls on any given shot. Even with 3 throws, it's not all that easy to time, even though 3 throws much slower in the exact same motion every time. You may be thinking, shouldn't a jump shot be the exact same motion every time? Yes, but in the game now, they have different catch animations. Sounds like a good thing in general. But the catch animations aren't just about how long it takes to start the shot. The catch animations affect how long the shot itself is as well. So it even makes it that much harder to time shots. And also, this is a PlayStation issue. This skips there for no apparent reason. This is direct footage, unedited completely, and yet it still skips. I don't skip that far forward though. I go from 12 to 3 to 14 to 3, but I mean, yes, it's 14 to 3, so I will kind of start to speed this up. I think at this point you kind of understand what online is. It's playing with the tallest player possible, going inside every time, and either the AI will randomly foul for no apparent reason, or the taller player will win every time. Can't time a dunk because the dunk meter is broken. That's yet another reason why almost no one uses the dunk meter. So, I mean, this person's trying. They figured out they can't shoot a jump shot because the internet just isn't good enough. So they try to go inside, and they can't play inside either because my players are taller. Do I have the better overall team? I mean, take it as you may. I have the better overall individual players, or team overall, take it as you may. But, yeah, I mean, if this player had proper internet, which is purely on 2K's fault, I don't think it's this person's internet's fault, probably would have made 80 or so % of the shots, because other than the maybe 2 so far, all of the 3s have been between open and wide open, despite usually shooting over someone that's 7'6", a player that's 6'11". But instead, it is 16 to 3. And I'm even scoring with more than this Taco Fall at this point to conserve energy. There's energy in this mode, but usually everyone plays their starting 5 the entire game, especially in limited where the bench is limited, that's the point. So that just entices people to play the starting 5 that much even more, and it's to the point where it's basically just 5-on-5 on a game that's supposed to be with 13 players. So, I mean, as you can see, I think y'all can get what's essentially going on. This player has it set to dunk with a meter. This mode doesn't have good enough connection to dunk with a meter. This player is obviously better than me. Able to do fancy dribble moves and stuff to get open shots on the perimeter. Able to have enough screen and rolls and such and somewhat dribble moves in there to be able to get to the rim with a fairly decent look, but because I have the taller players and the internet in this mode isn't good enough to shoot from the perimeter, I'm able to be up 20-3 at the end of the first quarter. AKA, I'm on pace to win by about 70 points. I think, what is it, like 68, I think? Yeah, that sounds right. I'm on pace to win by about 68 points. Y'all can get what's going on at this point. The other player doesn't have as tall of a team. It probably is a better team, and it's better for outside shooting, but because shots can't be taken outside, can't score, and I end up winning. Wait for it, folks. Wait for it, folks. I end up winning 31-2. This shot goes in, it doesn't register on there, but it registers on there. So it's 31-3, sorry. It was able to make one of the 3 throws there, along with the one time it allowed him to shoot correctly with a meter whatsoever in the entire game. Like, literally the one time the meter worked in however many shots this person took. Not this person's fault. That's purely on 2K. This person's clearly better than me with way more practice than me and probably a better all-around team than me, just not for playing on the inside, which you have to do. So yes, this person ends up leaving. And as a final note, before ending off this video, this person ends up leaving, and it probably doesn't even count as a loss. I'll get into that too. But to end it off, if you dashboard, which is what it's called around this game, which is essentially go into the settings on the PlayStation itself, just spam internet connection with like the check mark and not check mark a few times, and it doesn't even count as a loss. So yeah, this mode you can't shoot jump shots. You can't really even use the meter at all. Height runs the entire game, and somebody who has way more experience and skill than me ends up losing 31-3. I'm not gonna deny this player as an overall NBA 2K23 player is definitely better than me. Almost certainly better than my team with the 100 wins compared to my only 5 games. Obviously better in part because I don't play the mode, and lost 31-3 because the team wasn't tall enough and you can't shoot in this mode. NBA 2K23 online in a nutshell. Height runs everything because the servers are too bad to even shoot a jump shot in a basketball video game. Obviously not worth the e-haul, folks, and if y'all want to see more, there is more footage to come. And 2K24 is only going to be worse. Take that as you may, I guess. Take that as you may.